Hey, this is Taylor. How are you?
Oh, very good, very good. Thank you for asking. Glad you can join me today. It's a pleasure talking to you.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking the time.
You just released your brand new album with the Pretty Reckless called Death by Rock and Roll. Number one on the top 40 US rock album already, in front of the Fighters. Um, how do you feel about that?
It's it's insane. I don't know how to feel. It's mind blowing. I mean, you never know what to expect when releasing an album at any period in time, but especially nowadays. With the state of the world and how crazy everything is, we have no idea. And it's an incredible honor, and I'm so happy that people are taking the time to listen to this album that we spent so much time working on, and I really poured everything I had of myself into it. So I'm just incredibly grateful and excited.
Yeah, of course. Did you believe for the first day with did you believe in that album since day one?
Of course. I mean, I wouldn't make it if I didn't believe in it. I think that's the key to success in any form. And I'm not talking about commercial success. I'm talking about personal success. Like, I don't make something unless I really believe in it. And as soon as I wrote the record, I knew that we had something really special, and we had to record it. And then that was this whole other process, and for recording everything and making what I hear in my head somehow come out the other end of the speakers so everyone else can hear it too. And that comes with a lot of trial and error. But I really think that we accomplished something extraordinarily special on this record. Like, I really do think that this might be the best album we've ever released.
Okay. It's such an amazing album. I've been listening to it all week. Do you think that album will bring you to another level with your band, like in the rock and roll level? I mean, are you going somewhere even bigger than you were before?
I mean, I hope so. I think, it's, what did AC/DC say? It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. We've been a band for, over a decade now. It's our fourth record. So I think, with everything we put out, we have such an amazing fan base that just continues to grow with us, and is so supportive of everything we've done. And so I hope that, I hope that every time we do something, we've bettered ourselves, and we've come out stronger and better than we were before. Because as soon as you start digressing or staying stagnant as an artist, that's the death of music right there. You got to keep it pushing. Like, I'm always thinking of the next thing, and think not even the next thing, but thinking of how I can better myself. As a songwriter and as a musician, and as a singer, and pushing constantly to keep reaching greater heights.
Yeah. I think it's very important for you, to be in a band and not being the Taylor Momsen band.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I knew I wanted to be in a band from the get go. I mean, from when I was a young kid, all my favorite music, they were bands. Starting with the Beatles. Like, I love Elvis Presley, but I didn't want to be Elvis Presley. Who wants to do this alone? Like, we already live in a very lonely world, but so I wanted to be able to share, have a musical bond with people that is unbreakable, and is something that's so strong, and that's something that takes a lot of time to find those right people, that you connect to on a really deep level. And I'm very fortunate that we all found that in each other, and over 10 years later, here we are. It's incredible.
Yeah. You went through rough times before writing and doing that album. Do you think that rock and roll is better when you write it when you're in a bad place, or you can write rock and roll when you're in a good place?
I think it comes when it comes, and I think that it's not defined like that. I don't think it's defined by good or bad, headspaces. I think it's, inspiration is something that you're always searching for, and you're always waiting for it to strike. And that can sometimes be a very torturous process. But I think the thing, that rock and roll, one of the reasons that rock and roll is so important and so special is that it allows, it's the ultimate freedom, in my opinion, because it really allows you to delve into subjects and topics that, subject matter that isn't necessarily always comfortable to speak about or talk about. And I think it allows the listener to relate to that, and allows me as an artist to express that and understand it in a deeper way so that I can continue to grow as a person. And so I think that, you need both sides of the spectrum. You need the dark and the light. Like, you need the dark times to appreciate the light times. You need the light times to understand the dark times, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
You can't have one without the other.
Do you, after all those couple of years of bad stuff, do you feel that you deserve the attention and the good stuff that is happening with that album and with the reviews and with all the hype with that album?
I don't feel deserving of anything. I don't think anyone deserves anything in this world. I think that you have to earn it and you have to work for it. It's certainly a nice breath of fresh air after coming out of such a hard few years there to see all the work that we poured into this album being received so positively. Like, that's an incredibly rewarding feeling. And so I'm incredibly grateful for that. But I don't like the word deserve, because I don't think anyone deserves anything in life. I think you gotta, if you want something, you have to make it happen. You
have to work for it.
You gotta work for it.
Exactly. Do you feel, because I've been following your career for a couple of years now. Actually, 6 years ago yesterday, you were in Montreal with Nickelback.
Oh yeah.
So
that was a fun time.
Yeah. How was that tour with Nickelback?
It was a lot of fun, that tour. It was it was something different for us, but getting to play in such big venues and stuff was absolutely incredible. And the band and Chad and everyone, they were all so nice, and it was a blast. We had a really fun time on that tour. Like, no bad memories whatsoever. The fans were awesome. The shows were great. It was fantastic. It was I miss the days of touring.
Well, maybe it's
I yearn for them.
Yeah, it's probably coming soon, but who knows? I hope for you and for us, actually.
I know, me too. It's we're still, we're in that holding pattern right now. I think we're all just playing the waiting game. But I know as soon as live shows do come back and they're all cleared and it's safe, and not just safe for us, but safe for the fans and the audience and everything. It's going to come back, bigger and better than ever, I think, because I think that everyone is missing it so much that it's going to be a whole new world. It's just going to explode, and it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. Because that was one of my questions. Do you think that when it's going to be safe and everybody can go out and stuff like that, what will change in the audience, do you think? Not for the health, but I mean, what will change after like a year and a half or 2 years without any concerts?
I think the excitement is just going to be overbearing in the best way. Like, I think the fans are yearning for it. The bands are dying for it. Like, so I think just the overall energy in the room is going to be palpable. Like, it's just going to be, it always is. Like, anytime you get to play a show like that kind of, hair raising on your arm, live music, that feeling that you can't experience anywhere else except for going to shows. It's just going to be, that on crack. Like, it's going to be
exactly.
So happy to be there, And so I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be loads of fun.
Yeah. You have one song on the album called Only Love Can Save Me Now. You're collaborating with Matt Cameron and Kim Tae-il. What did they bring to the song after they came to play their part?
They just, first of all, Matt and Kim, Soundgarden's one of my favorite bands in the world, and Matt and Kim are two of my favorite musicians in the world. And so getting to work with them was just absolutely surreal and incredible. And they bring this incredible weight and power that is unparalleled. It's unlike anyone else. They're definingly them. They're so unique in what they do, and it's incredible to watch and incredible to experience, and to get to collaborate with them on the song that I wrote was just insane. I mean, to hear it come to life for the first time. I mean, we recorded it in Seattle at Londonberg Studios, which is, a very iconic studio there, where, Soundgarden recorded Louder Than Love, and Pearl Jam made 10, and Alice in Chains recorded Dirt. And so to be in that space with so much history, and to not only be there, but to be there with Matt and Kim, creating something new, which is this very beautiful kind of full circle moment. And the first time we all played it, I mean, the first time Matt hits his snare and the first note that Kim plays, like, the speakers just exploded. It was awesome. Like, it was one of those magical musical moments where we all just kind of looked around and went, well, that works. Like, this is going to be awesome.
And was it important for you to bring them on your album?
I mean, absolutely. It wasn't something that I, initially thought of or set out to do. Like, I never write with the intention of asking someone to play on a record or guest appear on, or whatever you want to call it, feature on it or something, because I write the songs from a very organic place. They come from a very personal standpoint. And then once the song is completed, that's when you kind of take a step back from it and you look at it and you go, is there someone outside of us, outside of the Pretty Reckless, that could really take this song to its full potential? And sometimes the answer is yes, and then you make a phone call and see if they're interested. And in this case, Matt and Kim were a very clear choice in my mind. When I finished writing that song, I was like, you guys will deliver something that we won't be able to ourselves. Like, you're gonna take the song to where it should go. And I'm so grateful that they said yes, and they did. I mean, they really knocked it out of the park.
You mentioned that Soundgarden was your favorite band ever. How was it to tour with them and to chat with them every night on tour?
It was incredible. I mean, when we got the phone call that we were going to be opening for Soundgarden, I didn't even believe it. I was in shock. I was like, this can't be, this isn't, what? And it was, so to share a stage with them every night and get to, go on and play our set and then watch their show every night was just absolutely amazing. And then getting to know them as people was incredible. I mean, you always hear horror stories of, like, don't meet your idols, because that could go badly very quickly. They might not be who you want them to be. And in this case, they exceeded my expectations and more. Like, they're the coolest, nicest, most genuine, down to earth guys you've ever met. And there's everything I could have hoped that they would be, and more so. Like, it's just absolutely phenomenal. Like, that was a wonderful experience that obviously ended very tragically. Like, it went from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows, like in a snap of a finger. But when it was great, it was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I can't imagine that it didn't take too long for you to say yes to that phone call.
Oh no! I think there was probably a pause because I thought someone was playing a prank on me.
Yeah, exactly. This is is this some kind of fucking sick joke?
Yeah, I was like, I had to check the month. I was like, wait, is it April 1st? Is this a joke? But it wasn't. And of course the answer was absolutely. Like, anything you wanted, we would have said yes to. Like, I love them so much.
Yeah. Have you ever felt that you had to do more to get recognition of your peers in music because of your past?
I don't know. I mean, I think in the very beginning there were certainly a lot of people who doubted the genuineness of this band. I think I think a lot of people might have seen it as some sort of vanity project or like a phase or something. And I learned very quickly, which it was not, obviously. And so I learned very quickly to kind of tune out those voices. And really all you can do to prove people wrong, or, people who might doubt you, is to just simply do the work. So, we put our heads down and hunkered down and wrote the best songs we could write and made the best records we could make, and, toured the world over and over and over. And, that's what rock and roll is. It's a lot of hard work, but it's the most rewarding job in the world. And there is no shortcut, and I wasn't looking for one. Cause shortcuts don't, but that never works out in the end. Like you have to pay your dues. You have to go through the grind and go through the dirt to get, to come out on the other side and fully formed.
Yeah, because it could have been easier for you without a band, like to get recognition, but you're always putting your band, the Pretty Reckless, in front. It could have been easier for you to like a shortcut with your name, but you're not that type of woman, eh?
No, I'm not. I mean, who knows? Like, in anyone's life, you can look back and go, well, if I had just done this, this would have happened. But you never know. It could have very easily done the opposite, and it would have been a huge failure. But for me, that was never, success or failure. That was never something that even really entered my mind. I just loved playing music, and I loved playing music with Ben, Mark, and Jamie. Like, I love making music with them, and that's what a band is. That's what it's about. And so it just was wasn't even a decision. It was just a very obvious, it's just very obvious. It was when we met, it all made sense. Everything clicked. And that's a very rare thing in life, when you meet like-minded people who you musically connect with, musically and and on a personal level. And it's just, that's a very rare and fortunate thing. And I feel very blessed that we all met each other. And, I don't know where I'd be without them. Like, we're a family.
Yeah. I should ask your bandmates that question, but I will ask you anyways. How do they see that thing, that there's so much attention on you and less on them? How did they deal with that? Did they ever tell you about it?
Yeah, we talk about it. You could ask them, but they like it. They're like,
yeah, because they're not doing nothing like you.
They're going, yeah, you do all the press, you do all the work, you do all that, and we just get to play. And I look at them and I go, yeah, you guys have the best job. You guys just get to play music. I have to do all the other shit. And so, we laugh about it all the time. And I think that's the case with any band. The singer is generally the focal point of the band. They're the one, using their voice literally. So it's, I don't think that is unique to us. I think that tends to be the case with most bands. So I'm jealous of their job, and I don't think they're envious of mine. So I think it works out all right. They get to go off. I have to sleep late because I have to sing shows every night, so I have to, make sure I don't lose my voice. They can stay up all night long and, and party and go out and see and experience the cities, and they get to go around, and, I'm the one in interviews, doing the job part of it, and they just get to show up on stage and play. Yeah. And I'm like, you guys are winning right now. I'm like, how did this happen? Hey.
But I have something to tell you. It's not about to change.
I don't think so, but we all understand our part, and we all have an equal role in the band. It's just mine is a little bit more, I take on the responsibility of kind of the public side of it, I guess.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Taylor. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and I recommend to everybody that album, Death by Rock and Roll. It's an amazing album, and you're like the fucking queen of rock and roll right now.
Oh my God! Well, thank you, man. That is some high praise right there. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's so great to speak to you.
Yeah, and we'll see you soon in Montreal. Let's hope.
Yes, fingers crossed. I can't wait to come back. So have a wonderful rest of your day, and please stay safe. And hopefully, we'll see you sooner than later.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Taylor.